So he says, suppose you and I are arguing over whether Newtonian physics or general relativity is a better account of the nature of space. This argument will be difficult to sort out because each theory assumes upfront an entirely, notice, different concept of space. Each theory comes with its own, we might say, worldview, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, I'll think that Newtonian physics makes more sense of the concept that Newtonian physics assumes. Space is like this. I'm assuming space is like this. And look, Newtonian physics explains it. Yes, it
Yeah.
wins,
Yeah.
right? The nature of space is itself colored, the point he's making here, by the theory. And this is often the case generally. We must stand, he says, on theories to argue for them. There's sometimes nowhere else to stand. Beliefs about the theories are themselves soaked in theories, sometimes the very same ones, right? So, these theories then, we posit a theory. The theory is based on our worldview. We believe the world is like this, and so this is the way we explain it. If we believe the world was different, not a Newtonian type of world, but a quantum physics type of world, we come up with different theories about what's going about our observations, right? And so, to a certain extent, our worldview about what we're looking at, the way the world is, influences clearly the theories that we come up with.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll see here, even influences our observations.
Yeah, in many ways.
Yeah.
If you go back to the atom bomb, if you have a belief that God won't allow you to destroy the earth because he's got that all wrapped up in his plan, and so you are hesitant about blowing up the atmosphere of the earth, but you have a worldview that says, well, God's in control and certain things have to come to pass in order for the earth to be destroyed. So we can let off as many as nuclear bombs as possible, and hopefully that doesn't fit perfectly into God's plan.
Right. Or we could have another theory about what God is doing and saying, God is going to use this to end the world, and therefore we should do it,
Yeah.
right? And it's going to end the world, right? So yeah. So beliefs. The point he's trying to make here is that the beliefs we have strongly influence the beliefs that we form. The beliefs we have strongly influence the beliefs that we form.
Yeah.
Now, again, if we're realists, we're going to say, yeah, but there is a real way the world is, and that's what we want the truth about the way the world really is, and therefore, we will have to figure out a way to get around these things. But we need to understand, and what makes science hard is that even when we're positing theories about our observations, we are influenced by our worldview in terms of what the world is like.
Right.
And so we need to understand that. Oftentimes the debate between, whether or not, I don't know, evolution and creation, that sort of thing, is not about observations. It's not about, the facts of the matter. It's about how the world is being perceived.
Right. Yeah. So when we think about this, the worldview, we have those beliefs, and then it informs kind of our expectations. It's where we look, and so this moves us. We're not some tabula rasa, blank slate where you approach an observation. Again, this Photoshop view of science. I approach this observation. I see this planet move, and then I postulate another planet because of a wobble in this. No, there are underlying assumptions. If today, if we posited planet X, Y, and Z, but we've never seen those types of influences where these big planets would have on gravitational pull and fields and objects in space that you shouldn't see with these other planets. Well, then you might not postulate other planets because that that type of experimentation has already been done, and you haven't seen those variations back then. You're not looking for planets because your worldview of how to identify new planets out there isn't
Doesn't allow for it.
It doesn't allow for it.
Yeah, good.
So again, it's not this Photoshop view of science. It's this human approach, and one of the things about humans is we all come with certain assumptions. That's our worldview, in how we get things. If your worldview doesn't allow for miracles, then the sun staying in the sky for another day could not happen, and so another explanation must be the result.
Right.
People were mistaken. Everyone on Earth fell asleep and woke up, and it was just another day.
Right.
Whatever it might be, you cannot accept that a miracle occurs because your worldview does not allow for a supernatural
Intervention
Yeah.
into what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.